Good evening. It's another Saturday, as I typically record these things on Saturday nights after I've done my shopping and I'm just starting to relax and rest up for the weekend so that next week I can go back to work and be effective rather than being sleep deprived. I went out shopping. I went for dinner first. I went to my favorite little greasy restaurant, and then I went downtown and bought 3 whiskeys, and then I went to my to a specialty store, and then I went to the government store that I usually go to, and I bought another whiskey there. I got the last bottle of something that may prove to be something very special. But since I do things on a first in, first out basis, this I got about, I'd say 2 weeks ago. And this is the first bottle of its kind that I have ever bought. It's a Japanese whiskey. It is a Suntory Toki. Now, Toki reminds me of this girl I used to know in high school. Her name was Tokiko, but they called her Toki for short. If you're out there, Toki, this is maybe for you or your namesake. But I lost touch with Toki at least 30 years ago, so maybe even more than 30 years ago. So who knows where she is. Anyway, this is the Suntory Toki whiskey. Does it say anything special on the bottle? Let's find out. Probably not a lot. It's an entry-level Japanese whiskey. It was the least expensive one on the shelf. Suntory Whiskey Toki, $54.99, most affordable, and with taxes and all, $63.24. I mean, that's easy to cough up. And with it, there's another one on there that I'm going to do right after this, or soon after. So, from the house of Suntory Whiskey, established 1923, Japanese whiskey, 43% alcohol by volume. Oh, that's healthy for an entry level. And what does it say on here? Government warning. Produced by Suntory Spirits Limited, Japan. Imported by Beam Suntory Import Co., Deerfield, Illinois. And there's no alcoholic beverage operate machinery. Okay, yeah, that's the usual warning. It doesn't have one of those pregnant woman with a little bar through it, like a whiskey I tried last week, which I thought was just hilarious. Or was it the week before? I don't know, something like that. Okay, this looks like some kind of a electrician's tape seal. And, okay. I probably opened this the wrong way. Okay. This is my first bottle of Japanese whiskey ever. I've tasted Japanese whiskey at whiskey festivals, and I had a wee sip here and a wee sip there. And the first time I ever tried one, I think it was a pure malt of some kind. I think it comes in a little brown bottle about that tall. And at first it tasted like nothing, and then it just exploded in my mouth. It was fabulous. But the Japanese whiskey booth was being stormed by people, so it was hard to get in without having to shove your way in. And then this year, I tried this very one at the Victoria Whiskey Festival, and it tasted good, but everything tasted good because I had tasted so many other things before it. Anyways, this does not have a cork. Usually they don't. Oh, what's the story here? Oh, it is a screw top. Yes, it's a very cheap plastic screw top. On the top it says Suntory, Suntory, Suntory. Okay, well, it fits in my hand very nicely. Nice square bottle. 43%. Yeah, that's about maybe a tiny little bit more. Okay. I'm expecting it to be light, but color is not always an indication of what you're going to get. I also expect it to be fruity. I expect it to be a bit like an Irish whiskey, but I don't know for sure. I'm getting some malt already, a little bit of a malty note. I'm getting a pleasant pear and apple combo. Pears and apples, a little bit grainy. Smells a bit like a corn whiskey, but like a Canadian corn, or not like a bourbon, because the bourbon is aged in virgin oak, and I doubt that this is aged in virgin oak. This is probably aged in ex-bourbon from Jim Beam. This being from Beam Suntory. Yeah. What does it remind me? It reminds me of, it's a bit like an Irish whiskey. It's a lot like a lot like a Jameson's, or more like a Bushmills, like an entry-level Bushmills. Or wait a minute, Tullamore DEW. It's a little like that. Maybe a touch more fruity. There's a lot of pear and apple in this, or at least on the nose. A little bit of cinnamon spice. Spicy like cinnamon. It's pleasant and not overly complex, at least in the nose. I don't expect the flavor to be much different from the nose, but we'll give it a try. Yeah. It's like a sweet corn. It's like ex-bourbon barrels, sweet corn and ex-bourbon barrels. A little bit fruity. Yeah, I did say that before. Okay, well, let's taste it. It's astringent like a Irish whiskey. And there's a malty note at the end of it. It has an oilier mouthfeel than your typical Irish whiskey, which is more dry. What is that at the end? It's a bit of a light caramel note on the aftertaste. I'm getting it just on the tip of my tongue, the roof of my mouth. On the sides, it's a little bit bitter, but not unpleasantly so. It's quite pleasant. Once again, the nose is a little bit like apple cider. More so now than before. Just a hint of cinnamon. Not so much pear anymore as there was earlier. Now it's more like cider after I've tasted it. There's no bite of alcohol. It's extremely smooth. a little bit, very subtle. On that dry finish, there's a hint of pepper, of white pepper. It's not overpowering. Nothing is overpowering in this. It's very well orchestrated. It's planned exactly the way it is. So you get that hint of malt and pepper and a little bit of bitterness at the end, but before that you get a lot of fruits. And that oily mouthfeel. Very nice. Yeah, I'll drink to that. And I don't know how you say cheers in Japanese. My Japanese is really bad, but I know how to say Suntory and to your health.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food quick.
Food Quig.
Food quick.
Yeah.